On December 1st of 2008, Worcester 911 had received a hysterical call for help from the apartment where Na Truong, a 16-year-old Vietnamese-American teenager, lived with her 13-month-old son, her mother, and her younger brothers. Her baby Kyle wasn't breathing, and 40 minutes later, a doctor at a nearby hospital pronounced him dead. A short while later, police discovered that 8 years before this incident, after a similar emergency call, authorities found her baby brother dead in eerily similar circumstances. Both infants had mysteriously stopped breathing while in their cribs, and both had been discovered by Na. She was taken to the Worcester police interrogation room just 2 hours after her child was pronounced dead.
You tell us the truth, and I can guarantee you'll feel better.
I didn't tell the truth.
You didn't tell us the truth. Somebody heard that baby. The baby didn't suffocate on the mattress. There were only 2 people in that room, according to you and your mother, were you and Edwin. If you didn't do it, Edwin did it. I'm leaning toward you. You know why? Do you know why?
What?
Think about it. You're pissed at your mother. You have to keep taking care of all these kids. Who's Hen?
Who?
Who's Hen? Truong.
Who?
H-E-I-N, Truong.
My brother passed away.
Your brother? How did he pass away?
From sudden death syndrome.
There's no sudden death syndrome. Sudden death syndrome? How about big sister syndrome? You were watching him when he died, right? Is that not true?
Yeah.
Okay. And now you're alone with another baby and he dies? Are we going to keep doing this? Or are you going to tell me what happened?
Dad told me.
You told me what happened? His face was in the mattress? Oh, we're done here. Okay, thank you. Yeah, we're going to go now. Cut the shit!
I'm not lying.
Then Edwin did it. One of you did it. Because that medical examiner told me that that baby was smothered.
This is a false statement. The medical examiner, in fact, ruled the baby's death as undetermined, with the possible cause of death being the swelling of the throat due to infection.
Does that change your story? Are you going to argue with what a scientist has to say about how your baby died? Your story is going to be that he was sleeping with his face down on the mattress and that's all you know? We'll go with that. I'll go to court with that. I really don't care. But if you want us to hear your side of the story, you better damn well do it now.
I'm not lying. That's all I gotta say.
Really? Then how did Hen die?
It was,
In your care. In your care. That baby mysteriously dies. And now Kyle's in your care and he mysteriously dies. You're a liar. You just got the worst luck in the world. How do you think a jury's going to see that? Now you said earlier you're going to tell me the truth. I'm waiting.
did.
No, you didn't. That baby was smothered. Somebody smothered him. You had some bad luck watching kids, but not really. Not really, because we know you're pissed because you have to keep taking care of your mother's kids and all these other little kids, and you don't get to be a kid. That's what the problem is.
The detective very abruptly switches from a highly aggressive stance to a technique known as minimalization. He offers her a moral explanation for what she's done to make it more acceptable for her to confess to the crime she supposedly committed.
And that's why you smothered Kyle, didn't you?
No.
That's why you smothered him, didn't you?
Never kill him.
I'm sorry?
I would never kill him.
Really?
I'd kill my own son. I would never do that.
Well, 2 babies have died in your care. It's kind of hard to believe at this point. You're still a juvenile. We can help you. We can get you help. Your first thing you have to do is admit you have a problem. If this drags out, then we'll push to try you as an adult. I don't really care. I told your mother I don't care about her, and I don't care about you. I care about that baby. More than your mother, by the way, because she didn't shed one tear. Not one tear in 3 hours. And we're the only voice that baby has right now. If you're angry, sick, tired, sick and tired of being sick and tired, pissed off at your mother, and you did something stupid, get help. I dare say your mother's more to blame than you are. You had 0 chance of being a kid. If you want me to bring in the doctors and the lawyers and drag it to trial, we can do that. I want to do that to you.
I didn't.
What?
I did not kill.
Okay, so a perfectly healthy boy just, what, held his breath?
Kill him.
Is that what you want me to believe? Is that what you're going to try to convince the jury? That he held his breath?
Oh no.
I know. We have scientific evidence. One day after his death, and believe me, we're still doing tests, but one day I can tell you that that boy was smothered to death. What avenue we take with this case is up to you.
I just told
Why don't you just tell me the truth?
I did.
You don't care. Now you know what you did, and we know what you did. Based on all the evidence, there's no doubt what happened in there. All everyone's waiting for today is for you to admit to what you did so that we can start the process of getting you some help, getting you into a social program, and getting your brothers out of that house, and get them in a better home, where there's a mom that gets up in the morning and takes care of them.
Is it okay to talk about this next time?
There's no next time. Why do you want to talk about it next time?
Because I'm telling you guys, and you don't worry.
So what's going to change for next time? No, it goes like this. You tell us what happened. We walk right out here to Special Crimes, Juvenile, get on the phone, talk to a social worker, and try to get you some help. Or you walk out of there, I call the medical examiner, get his full report, get his findings, which indicate that Kyle was strangled and on his back when it happened, and I put my case together. One of those things is going to happen today.
When you say next time, is there something you feel you have to take care of before you admit to this, or what?
I just want to get Kyle funeral started.
That's understandable. Sometimes we use that to say when people lose control, it was just a perfect storm. It was the baby, it was your mother, it was your life, okay? Maybe that just collided all at once and you lost it. But it's time to face up to that if that's what happened, okay? Because people will be much more understanding if you come forward and say, I'm a 16-year-old girl, I lost it, this is what happened, than if the medical examiner has to get up there and testify that this is what happened, and you're still saying that I don't know what happened, okay? So just something to think about, that's all.
When can I leave?
I'll check with the sergeant.
It wasn't released as public record, yet after the detective used the highly coercive strategy of giving the suspect the completely falsified promise of a lesser sentence, on top of multiple implied promises to look after her brothers in return for a confession, Na muttered underneath her breath that she had indeed smothered her baby. She was immediately placed in handcuffs, charged with first-degree murder, and taken into custody following the interrogation. She was denied bail and spent 3 years in jail awaiting trial. In 2011, an astonishing turn of events materialized. The child's death was ruled as accidental asphyxiation due to sudden streptococcal pharyngitis. A judge had tossed out the confession, ruling it as the product of deception, trickery, and implied promises to a frightened teenager. The city of Worcester was then ordered to pay $2.1 million to the recently freed 19-year-old. In a written statement, the Worcester police announced it had settled a lawsuit which alleged civil rights violations, malicious prosecution, false arrest, and false imprisonment.
I thought they was gonna let me go. I didn't know that they're gonna put handcuffs on me or put me in jail. I thought they're just gonna let me go because they heard what they wanted. When I first got there, I was put in, I was being processed. So we had to do a strip search first and then brought to our cell. But I was handcuffed and shackled because I was a new inmate. And plus I was on suicide watch. Nobody told me that I was gonna leave. And I didn't expect it. I thought it was just another day at the courthouse and then coming back to Chicopee. But when I came down in that basement and they took handcuffs off of me and they just let me go, I can't even explain it. Just thinking about it makes me smile because it was one of those moments where you feel like you could fly. And I wanted to scream. I did scream. And I just started to cry.